As we said, the Adomi Bridge has been closed down today, March 11, and very soon we'll be crossing over to bring you updates on that closure. And we understand that my colleague Odelia Fori will be joining us on the line. Good afternoon, Odelia.
Hi, good afternoon, Portia.
Yeah, Odelia, give us an update on the closure of the Adomi Bridge.
Well, the Adomi Bridge has been closed, and just right by it is the ferry dock site where passengers and drivers are supposed to be using the ferry. It was expected that two ferries would have been on the Volta River, basically running concurrently. But what we gather from the engineer is that one of the ferries has broken down. As at yesterday, the moment it started, they noticed that one couldn't work properly, and so it has been grounded. And once the ferries are under warranty, they have actually asked that the engineers who worked on it and the company that put it together, which is in Holland, should bring people in, engineers in to come and solve the problem. Currently, what we gather is that the engineers are actually in plane, and they should be arriving tonight to come and solve the problem, and by Thursday it should be fully operational. Because we're currently running just one ferry, you can just imagine the traffic that is currently here. Cars are in the hundreds, and they are all waiting for the opportunity to join the ferry to go. Maximum about just 15 cars can go on the ferry at a time. So if the cars are in hundreds, some people have already slept here since yesterday, trying to cross the river to the other side to transact business. There's a bit of a confusion about the price, but what we gather from the roads and highways is that it's actually the lower charges they have on any ferry that does any passenger business in the whole country. It's actually like 1/4 of it. So painting the picture, that's basically what is happening here, where most people cannot move as swiftly as is expected. Some have been here since last night at 8 o'clock. The ferry was actually supposed to stop work at 6 p.m., but it cannot stop work at 6 p.m. They cannot stop the work at 6 p.m. They basically are indicating that basically what they say is that the 6 p.m. cannot be ascertained or cannot work because the ferry is only one, and they have decided to extend their working hours to about 10 p.m. But just like you can see the picture right in the ferry, these passengers who are not in vehicles are not charged. And the charges range from 1 for motorbike to 850 5,000 actually for big. Some of the passengers and some of the
because the ferry is only one, and they have decided to extend their working hours to about 10 p.m. But just like you can see the picture right in the ferry, passengers who are not in vehicles are not charged, and the charges range from 1 cedi for motorbikes to 850 85 Ghana cedis actually for big trucks. Some of the passengers and some of the drivers have been speaking to us. Drivers indicate that some of the policemen are just jumping the traffic to basically push other people in the queue because they have stayed for so long, and they're trying to bypass the queue and join. So that's one of the reasons why the traffic is really on the high side. What we gather is that if the engineers are able to come and solve the problem by Thursday, the drivers and everybody will be a bit more comfortable. They will spend less time in the traffic as they run along. It takes just 8 minutes to go across the river, but it can take you 2 days to basically wait for your turn to join the ferry and go to the other side. What is happening here also is that every vehicle is checked, especially the axle vehicles, to make sure that the weight they are carrying is actually within the limits that they're supposed to be carrying. So it's not just loading the ferry, but also making sure that the cars and the articulators and the vehicles that go onto the ferry are carrying the actual weight. If they're not carrying the actual weight, they're actually asked to go back, offload some of the tracks and make sure that the load is right, just to keep the ferry running for a very long time. Well, from Accra, Odilo Fori, TV3 News.